Morning all, and welcome back. Welcome back to myself as well, because something you don't know is that I haven't actually made a video in the last 8 weeks. So even though you might have been watching them every Saturday morning, I actually stocked the shelf up with videos before I went into the busy spell I've just come out of. So yeah, I'm back new to this again. Nearly forgot where the on button was on the camera. But I hope you've enjoyed the videos actually. I just got back from the family holiday yesterday morning. So I'm all recharged, fully fresh, ready to go. And so first thing I'm doing today, I'm heading down to my accountant's. Yes, it's my tax end of year. I dread this time of year. And then I've got a new bag on the back, one of the ING has. I got a bag from them 2 years ago, I think, and it was absolutely brilliant. I still have it, still use it. I just needed something smaller for sort of little regular trips like this without having to put the panniers on or the side boxes, or God forbid having to wear a rucksack. I'm still not comfortable wearing a rucksack for some reason. I don't like it. So I got one of these 30-litre bags from ING has, which is strapped down beautifully on the back, and it has one of those vacuum hoses in, is that the right word to say, where you can squeeze all the air out, lock the valve, and then it keeps it all nice and flat. So when you're not carrying that much in the bag, like today I've literally got a year's worth of bank accounts, and that's pretty much it. I didn't want it sort of flapping around and then, you know, it becoming high risk of flapping off the bag. Anyway, I'll probably make a separate video about these bags, because I also bought a 70-litre one as well, because after going to the ABR, which was about 4 weeks ago now, when I was travelling over there on this very bike, I had the top box, I had the side panniers, I had a tent rolled up, I had the sleeping mattress rolled up. I was just so heavy, and it was top heavy, and actually when I was riding in low speeds and traffic jams and whatever else on the way there, I wasn't comfortable at all. So I've decided to ditch the top box. So that's why I've got these new bags from ING has. Obviously they'll weigh a lot less than a top box fully loaded, and the fact that I can suck the air out and squeeze them to whatever else is inside them, hopefully it'll be a great thing. I actually bought them with next year's ABR in mind, but I'm sure I'll be using them way before then. I'll probably make a separate video on them, because so far I'm so impressed by them. Whilst I was lying on the beach on holiday, thinking all things motorbikes, well as looking at the topless woman on the beach, of course, I was thinking, I've made so many videos about wanting to sell this GS, about wondering whether to sell this GS, and then about not selling the GS. And then I started having the same bloody thoughts whilst I was on the beach. And as much as I love this bike, I think with the advent of the new GSA and the new standard 1300 GS as well, I think it's not going to be long before this particular model, the 1200, probably bottoms out. So as much as I love this bike, and well, you all know how much I love this bike, best bike ever, I really feel as though it's probably time to be trading in. So yeah, I'm off to a couple of bike shops, the BMW shop as well being one of them. Well, I'll tell you straight up as well, I'm not going to keep any sort of secrets here anymore. You've been through enough with me with this bike. So the bike I'm looking at today potentially is a 2000, I thought it was a 2020 model. It's not, it's a 2019 GSA model, so obviously the bigger version than this. It's the 1250 as well. So I'm going to be looking at one of them. I don't know if I'll be test riding it. The big thing I want to do is to see if it fits me. I did test ride one last year, I think it was. Loved it, apart from the seat. It had the rally seat on. So the one I'm seeing today is in rally colours, but with the normal seat on. I'll tell you more about it obviously when we're there. So I'll cut the camera now. I'll go and see the accountant. Actually, a funny story. Last year I remember going to see my accountant. Here I go again, you see. This is because I haven't made a video in ages. You can't shut me up again. So last year when I went to see the accountant, he said, "How was your year?" And I said, "Well, if I'm honest, Kevin," I said, "not great." I said, and if I'm totally honest, I thought by the time I hit sort of 53, 54 years old, I'd rather hoped I'd be living on an island, you know. And he looked at me and he says, well, you fucking are, aren't you? My idea of an island is obviously by myself, not with 8 million other people.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
Hey Cardo, music off. So the other thing I've just realised that maybe I haven't mentioned is that I changed my intercom system from the Sena system to a Cardo Pack Talk Edge. I'm really pissed off about something, and that is that I didn't do this 5 years ago. If you've all got a Cardo Pack Talk Edge, you'll all know how amazing they are. So even sitting at sort of motorway speeds like I am now, the sound quality, just even when you're listening to music, let alone making a phone call, is just, well, it's next level compared to the Sena. It talks beautifully with the Chiggy system. You've probably seen all the videos I've made about this system, so it talks beautifully to that. So it makes it a much more pleasurable ride being on board with an intercom that you can actually hear, and that the batteries don't die after 2 hours. I've been getting sort of 12 hours battery life, even 14 one day. When I made the video heading over, oh god, I forget where it was, but I did count how many hours I got. 14 hours, so that was amazing. When I was doing like the Northumberland 250 with Trev back in March using the Sena system in my GTR 2 helmet, I was getting like 2 hours max, and then it was dying. So so that's why I upgraded. But yeah, great system. If you're thinking about moving from Sena to Cardo, then don't think anymore, just go and do it. It is a game changer. And of course the most important thing of all is safety, because now I can actually answer the calls just one touch button without the call dying or being inaudible or losing connection with the Chiggy system. It all just works. It's a bit like using Apple products. It just works, it's seamless. So yeah, I'm very happy there. Anyway, I shall plough on to the accountants. Cardo, music on.
Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand.
Alrighty, just arriving at the accountants now. Let's go and see whether I'm able to afford another motorbike or not. Join me in a tick.
Easy, easy on our tiptoes.
Okay, that wasn't exactly the meeting I'd hoped for with the accountant. There might be no new motorbike after all. But sure, what's the harm in looking? And of course, this is the M50, the busiest road in Ireland. A little bit of weaving is going to need to be done here if I want to even try and get to the dealership before it closes. So I've just seen on the sign there, there's a collision. 21-minute delay, the sat-nav is telling me on the Chiggy system. Wow. I'll do my best to weave in and out. I've got the blind spot warning on this Chiggy as well. It's going off all of the time here, so I must switch that off. I'll learn how to switch it off quickly, because it's quite distracting when I'm talking to you. Obviously, brilliant safety feature, but right, okay, yeah. What's the harm in dreaming? Let's just go and have a look at the BMW in Joe Duffy's showroom. Right, here we go. This is dangerous territory. That looks like the bike actually, and it is. That's very attractive, isn't it? That is absolutely gorgeous. I love the colour scheme. The trophy was always my colour scheme, which was my favourite in this bike, but actually looking at this, I think I nearly prefer this. I think it's outstanding. It's one of those bikes, again, in the flesh when you see it, it looks even better. Gold wheels, my favourite, really sets it off. Brand new tyres. Still got the chicken strips on, my favourite tyres as well. Michelin Road 6, oh my god, it's a sign. This has everything I like about a bike. And look at the road presence this thing will have. Oh god. Right, let's have a little look around the showroom, because I know that's really why you're here, not to watch me lusting after yet another bloody bike. So let's just go in, have a little look around there. So I can't resist a little look in here. That is a stunning looking colour scheme. The F900 looks great in that colour, doesn't it? Just doesn't, well, it's not as big obviously as the 1300, which is you know, the style I prefer. And sorry, I meant the 1250. There is the 1300. Looks like that one is sold. Yes, it is. Lovely looking showroom this. Oh my god, look at that. Now that's obviously the pornographic side of the showroom here. A lot of bikes sold here. People with money definitely out there. Look at this. I should stop looking and just get out on the bike I've come to see. Might save me a lot of money in the long run. Don't worry, I haven't bought it yet. I'm just out sampling it, just to see what it's like. I really want to see if I'm comfortable sort of touching the deck. Again, I'm 5'8", 30-inch inseam. This has the normal seat, and I'm at the minimum setting on the actual suspension, electronic suspension. But it's a normal size chassis. My 1200 GS is the lower chassis, and actually there's not much difference in it at all. I mean, it feels like there's about an inch of difference, but I'm very comfortable with this. Even in this traffic, stopping and starting. I love the colour scheme. Unfortunately, there was a bike next to it, exactly the same model, with the brushed chrome tank, and that looked even better. But that's already sold, and it was another €2,000 more. The big question is, do I prefer this over my 1200 triple black? I'm not sure. Well, I do prefer it, but I'm not sure whether it's worth the upgrade. So the price they're asking for this, now bearing in mind it's Ireland, everything is so much more inflated than the UK. So this is up for €18,750. I think I could get 13.5 for my 1200 GS. But it's well, it feels like a totally different bike. And to look at, I mean, well, it is king of the road, isn't it? I mean, just look at the road presence this thing has. It's massive. The tank, well, it's just everything about it. Why did I come this way to test a motorbike? It's rush hour in Dublin, so it doesn't really matter which way I was to come. I'm always going to get stuck in this. Alright, I'll power the camera off until I find a decent enough road where I can take a bit of a spin out. Let's just go into some streets. Oh yeah, great, industrial estate. Recently I was speaking to Bruce, Teapot One, who very kindly told me when I said I was going to view one of these, if it's the 2019 model and it was registered between January and July, there was a fault with a hot start. And it wasn't just if the engine was hot, it was also if the engine was cold as well. So I don't know exactly about that, but I've just asked the dealership about that, and it has been rectified. Indeed, Bruce was 100% correct. It's been rectified on this model, and it will come with a guarantee and with the full valve service done if I did want to buy this. So that's sort of peace of mind as well. The fuel, sort of the warning light there is the fuel light, so I'm not going to worry about that. It is bloody gorgeous to ride though. I'm just going to give it some socks up the N2 here when I clear these lights. I'm very at home on it. Obviously it's GS, just a bigger one, so the riding position feels exactly the same. My legs are less bent So I feel much more comfortable in the leg position. I think that's something to do with the fact, like I mentioned, that my 1200 GS is the low chassis. Because I certainly feel as though I have a lot more space on this. They don't seem as bent back. This has got the bar risers on, and also the bar risers which sweeps the handlebars back a little bit, which is something I added to my bike after doing the Northumberland 250 with Trev this year. He has them on his bike, and I noticed that I was getting pains in my elbows and also my lower back, and it was Trev who said just try some of those bar risers. I did, and totally fixed the problem. I haven't had elbow or back pain since. So I noticed this bike has the same configuration on. I love looking down just at the size of the bike. Just a little bit of drops of rain there on the black plastic. I'm sure that'll polish out. Listen, I'm not expecting a new bike. This is 5 years old. I'm talking like I've already bought it. This is worrying. You know that feeling. And I left home this morning saying to my wife, which was another stupid thing, don't worry, I'm not buying it. In fact, I just want to sit on it just to see if I can touch the deck and how it feels in the showroom. I won't even be test riding it, says I. What are we like? I know it's not just me. I do love BMW as a brand. I love the GS as a model. I'm just, well, there's no way I could afford to move up to a brand new 1300 GS or indeed the GSA. So I'm thinking until I win the lottery, maybe something like this will be a brilliant stopgap. Speed limit is 100 on this road, so I'm just going to tuck into the middle lane and set the cruise control, wind back a touch. Bit of buffeting from that screen, alright. I remember when I took the last 1250 out for a bit of a jaunt. That was in the trophy colours, and I remember the buffeting from the screen. I wonder if it's up full. It is. I'll just tilt it forward a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely not as clean as my 1200 screen, and this is the taller adventure screen which is on. Interesting, isn't it? But I love everything about it. I mean, it feels absolutely plush. It really is the Rolls Royce of motorbikes, isn't it? And there's a noticeable increase in power compared to my bike. And again, when I rode the 1300, it felt like a totally different model because of the amount of extra power in that. Yeah, what a lovely, lovely bike. Absolutely stunning bike. I don't know. I feel as though I have to make a decision before I go back. But it really is absolutely stunning. Well, do you know what I'm going to do, guys? Because this video has probably gone on long enough. I'm going to end the video just so I don't commit to whether I'm going to be buying this or not. I'm going to end the video, and sure, no doubt in the next few videos to come out, you'll know what happened. And I'll leave it at that. I'd love to know your thoughts about this bike and about this sort of moment I'm at, really, if it's the best thing to do. I've set my heart on this brand, I really have. I love my GS so much. I would like to stay with the brand, and as much as I love the look of the new Africa Twin, something inside me tells me I'm not going to like it as much as a GS. And we all know that feeling. Alright, on that note, folks, I hope you enjoyed the day out with me, especially that little bit of window shopping there. I mean, you know, we're all big kids at heart. Really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks a million, and I'll be back on YouTube 8 o'clock next Saturday morning. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please think about doing so. It helps the channel massively, and ultimately it will help me massively reach my ultimate goal, which is to be able to do this full time and bring you at least 2 videos a week and start getting further afield. I've got to scratch that itch next. I've really sort of got that bug. Okay, thanks again everyone, have a great week. Ride safe. Dave Perry, Wheelie Good TV, over and out.